Right, I wasn't quite sure what... Yes, I'm going to hand over to Andrew to summarise and just finish off in half a second. We've been looking through the things from the tables, and there were lots and lots of different ideas. So what we've decided to do is we're going to take away all the written material and type it up. There were two main themes that we've got illustrated here. I think there was something about top to the bottom that came through so many of the comments from the tables about getting it right the way through organisations, top to bottom. So we've got yet another wonderful illustration, and there are more going up around the wall there, so you may want to have a look at those before you leave. And another one which was about having a national approach, about really embedding good practice and standards and supervision as well. So we've had another one there. So please do look at the new illustrations, and there was one suggestion here which was to create a 2011 calendar using popular cartoons from today and having a cartoon of the day or week. So we will be emailing you the cartoons, so you may like to be creative, and we could perhaps perhaps we could develop something that we send to people that you might want to use next year. But that was a very nice idea. I would like to say a big thank you to Geese and to Clark for that presentation, and I'll just hand over to Andrew perhaps to do a bit of a summary. Yeah. Oh, and if anybody hasn't written in the book and would like to do so, it's on the table and we'll leave it there for you on your way out.
Thanks. So, a summary in 2 minutes. For those of you watching this on video, the day started with Geese Theatre Company making sure that we turned up here and engaged in the real world. If we thought we were going to come along and be conference delegates for the day, they disabused us of that notion very, very quickly and exposed some of the strategies we use to avoid reality when we're going around our daily business, and some of the strategies we need to use to cope with reality. They ended the day for us very ably, demonstrating the techniques used by social workers to avoid supervision. I've always thought that it must be impossible to supervise a good social worker. And I think they demonstrated how that's the case today. I don't intend to try and summarise the day. It's been very rich. We've shifted between policy and practice. We've dealt with complicated intellectual concepts, and we've dealt with bodily functions, and everything in between. I think it's been a really valuable opportunity to reflect, and we all learn differently. And I think there was something in it for everyone, which would have been one of Tony's objectives if he'd been setting the day up. Make sure we hit everybody's learning style at some point during the day. Narratives came across as one of the really important elements that we need to work with. Making sense of the world through the use of narrative and story, not trying to crunch everything through a set of numbers. We do need the numbers, we do need to watch what we're doing, but basically we need to recognise that what we're dealing with is human beings operating in a complex ecology, and any change anywhere in the ecology can make a change somewhere else. A very strong lesson that came from David and from Eileen. Systems theory can help us. It can enable us to understand the context in which we're working, but it won't give us the answers. We need to develop our own independent thought and practice around that. And that's, I suppose, the strong lesson around keeping up to date with the research evidence that's out there, making sure you tune into your own learning needs as you go through your professional day. I'd like to call the day to an end at that point with a challenge to us all to take away what we've learned, to please have a last look at some of the images. They are really excellent, and there are thoughts there none of which were preconceived by the artist, all of which came from you today. So tune into a few images, those things that are important, those things that you can take away, so that there's a sort of, that bit of your memory that works visually is tuned in as well. And I'd just like to say thank you all for attending and participating. There was a little bit of interaction, there's something for everyone, and I hope that this day, in memory of Tony Morrison, can enable even more good practice. So thank you, and have a safe journey. Thank you.